Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you, everyone, for being here today. Where you guys are from? Before we get started, just want to know where our audience is from. Where are you from? New York. All right. Hey, Gallo. All right, Wisconsin, Silver. Hey, Silver, nice to see you in here. New Mexico, Germany, Sven, hi. All right. Okay, guys, don't forget that you could also enable everyone from your chat box if you want all your messages to go through to everybody and not only to us. You can enable everyone, okay, from the drop down when you click on it. All right, so good afternoon, everyone. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Anka Metcalf, and I'm the CEO and founder of TradeOutloud.com, which is the trading education firm that is specialized in educating individuals how to day trade, swing trade, and invest in any kind of market, not restrictive only to equities and futures, stocks, ETFs, futures, but you can apply the same methodology to Forex. You can apply the same methodology to cryptocurrency. I have been a professional independent trader focused on day trading futures. It was not always the case because I started my day trading career trading stocks. And because I was literally paying too much taxes, my account advised me that it would be a good option to look into the futures market. So I did. So I looked into the futures market, and I never looked back since. So it's actually created more focus for me, and I only trade 2 hours or less in the morning at the New York trading session, and I have the whole entire day to myself. And what I actually do, I also like to swing trade. I swing trade stocks. I also run a swing trading service. I also have a trading room since 2017. I've been running the swing trading service for 13 years successfully. You can find the performance on our website as well. We specialize, and I specialize in high velocity trades. And what that means is that I look for inflection points into the market that can over deliver and fast, because I'm all about instant gratification. When I get into a trade, I like to see the that compound element that will literally blast the price, whether higher or lower, depending on the directional bias. All right, so I'm also the designer of an institutional proprietary trading system that is based on price support resistance, but it's not just supply and demand. No. If you're only focusing on supply and demand, you're missing out. So you're literally missing out at 85% of the whole aspect of the market. I also have specific trigger times. That is for day trading. Literally, you cannot apply it for swing trading, because swing trading is when the pattern occurs and when that inflection point happens to be triggered. I also look at chart synchronicity and divergency for more clarity and to have a better bias on the day. I like to trade relative strength indices and stocks in a strong market environment because they have the power to over deliver. And I like to trade, for example, the weakest stocks or indices in a weak market environment because they have higher odds of projecting lower faster. And again, it's all about how fast you can make money and not be a sitting duck into a trade. And I also have a strict set of trading rules, only 10 trading rules, and a 10-point scoring system that enables myself and my traders to identify trades with ease. All right, so that was a little bit about myself. And now let's get into some of our first questions in here. So let me know, what is the symbol that you guys want to take a look at next? Or let me know if you would like a brief presentation about the market context, where we are right now. Okay, so please. All right. Okay, so all right, trading style. Okay, awesome. All right. Okay, I have a pretty good base to where I can start today. So here's what we're going to be doing. Okay, based on your request, I'm going to give you a full analysis of what we can expect from the market, the SPYs, the Qs, Russell, Dow, because before you jump into any kind of stock analysis, you have to make sure that you analyze the context and the market, right? Because you have to develop the relative strength and weakness from the indices, see which index, which ETF is stronger, which one is weaker. And based on that, you can hop into, let's say, all right, Leah is saying Tesla, okay? So we have to have a reference point. We can't trade it without a reference point. All right, so market context it is first, and then Neil, yes, you got it. We're gonna, yeah, let's do this. Okay, so let's start with the stock market, and then we're gonna dive a little bit into the futures market. You got it, Silver. And even if I have not mentioned your name, yes, I will answer all your questions. Okay, all right. So let's start with the SPYs, right? As you guys can see here, we have previously talked into David's shows about the context of the market, and I have always presented the analysis for the SPYs, the Qs, the diamonds, and here's what we're seeing. Definitely we're getting a change in the trend, but the change in the trend is more evident if you're looking at a weekly chart, because if you're looking at this chart, you will see that we're literally taking out these prior highs, right? This is the first clue that when the price breaks outside of a downtrend, of a dominant lower high environment, the price action is likely to react bullish and work on a change of trend. However, we were able, Pat, you got it. We were able to identify a confluence point into the 350 to 360 area in the SPYs. So the SPYs came in to test this ascending 200 simple moving average. Now remember, this is the daddy of all moving averages. And if you look to the left-hand side, you would be able to see a prior high and a prior high right here that represents solid resistance points and a pretty good base from here to here. Let me just trace that for you. From here to here, here we go. From here to here, that establishes the next turnaround point. Now, it's not definite until a rotation happens, but the rotation has already happened. Do you guys know what a rotation is? Type of 1 if you know what a rotation is, or a buy setup. A rotation or a buy setup is. All right. A rotation or a buy setup is when you're having a green candle take out the prior candle high. That is a buy point. It means that the bias is changing from selling to buying, because these buyers from the green candle are taking out the whole activity of the bearish bar, and that comes with confirmation. It means that the price is ready to take out the prior bearish action within the last, in this example here, this candle is a weekly candle. So it's able to take out the whole weekly activity high, right? So this is a big breakout point. So this happened at an area of massive confluence. Prior resistance zones determine turnaround points for current price action. So this area is called minor support. It is an area that has been revisited before, and the price action has tested the area twice when it was in this area. Now, another important element is that these minor support levels are a hybrid from Elliott waves, and they also point out the fact that they're only present in uptrends. So it makes our work even easier because we would expect a rotation at this point. And this was back last year in October. If you would have been in, one of my programs, we bought with both hands when the price action was right here on October 17th. The week of October 17th, we went shopping. And while the market was declining into this point, we were looking for some relative strength stocks that were delivering good returns, good risk reward returns on our trades. But then when we approached this level, this was the buy point for many, many stocks. Okay, now there was a second buy point for it, and I'm going to show you exactly what happened. So from this low right here, we had another formation. Oops, sorry about that. Here we go. All right, so we had another formation with a higher low in December, and this is towards the end of December. So coming in January, we had a really massive turnaround and a confirmation of the trend change, because we had a low and we had the higher low. Once the pattern provides another higher low, it means that it is ready to commit to the opposite side of the downtrend. Does that make sense, everybody? So we had a low and a higher low. The low came in with massive confirmation, and the higher low came again above the 200 simple moving average. Now, here's the catch. A lot of institutions are looking to buy at or around the 200 simple moving average, whether the price is residing on a weekly chart or residing on a monthly chart or even on daily chart, more aggressive way, because they know that that area comes with a lot of bullish influence, and it's also like an algo rich zone in that location. So it's really nice for the upside. Now, what we had from last week, and let me just zoom it out a little bit. What we had from last week, whoops, here we go, was last week we had this doji bar. Do you guys see the doji bar right here? Like I'm holding the upper side of the cursor over there. You have like a big plus sign. All right, here is that big this is the big doji bar. Now this is speaking volumes. Why? Because if the price action, this is 101 from candlesticks. You guys know that, right? So if you have, for example, a doji bar like we have right here, this will determine the bullish above or the bearish below because it's neutral. And based on that fact that it could be double-sided, bullish above, bearish below, you need to evaluate the trend in order to determine what kind of price action favors the next move, whether the bullish or the bearish. Well, in this case, because the SPY is residing, and I'm doing a little bit of an ample analysis with explanation on the SPYs. We're going to go a little bit faster as we're going into the rest of the ETFs and into the futures, because it is imperative that you understand the context, and then pretty much the other charts are going to be very similar. But I want to provide you with a little bit more explanation on the facts. Okay, so here, because the price action is still trading above the 10 exponential moving average, it is trading above the 20 simple moving average. What does the moving average rule tell us? It tells us that once the price action is trading above the moving averages, the price action should have a positive reaction for a continuation higher. You never short anything that is above a 10 EMA, above a 20 SMA, or any other moving average for that matter. You're looking for a pullback buy. You're looking for a pullback into the 20 simple moving average or into the 10 if that is very extended. And then you're looking for a rotational point and you're looking for a buy. So in this case, this doji is going to be a bullish above level over 416. We're already, so I'm going to tell you right now, we're already in the SPYs, and I'm going to show you where we got it. So here we go. This is my tracker, my performance portfolio tracker. So here is when we called, oops, sorry about that. All right, when we called the SPY, it was on February 13th. You guys can see it right here. It was 3 days ago, and I already bought it at 208. This is something that I sent out to my traders. I'll look at the SPY, Friday's bottoming tail. Suggest a buy in progress for the SPY over 408.50. Now that is aggressive compared to this. The reason for that, and I'm going to show you the reasoning for my buy, is that I'm going to get it into the 416. 416 is going to be a target zone, right? But if it takes out the 416, we have a really great trade for that matter. Further targets, it has room to run to 420 to 425, in which point it's going to be decisive on whether it's going to continue to 430. 430 is going to be a very frothy area from this point. Even if we navigate higher this week or next week, 430 may be the turnaround point where we may pull back. Now, let me show you the daily aspect of it. All right. You guys can see this line in the sand over here. Okay, let's try to take that out. All right, and I'm gonna put on a new line right here, and I'm gonna show you, all right, where the 408 came from. Okay, so we're gonna go back in here. Oops, that's the futures. Sorry about that. So we're going to go back in here, SPY 408.52. Okay, 408.52. You guys see it? 408. I waited for 52 as a confirmation. That is when our buy came. So it came very early on a pullback and rotation where off of the 20 SMA. Right off of the 20 SMA. You have all the indications here. You have a very nice hammer candle. It's called a bottoming tail candle. And as the name implies, it shows the bottoming effect. So the next day, if the price is going to trade above the prior high, boom, it's going to explode higher. Now, as you can see here, the price action throughout the last 3 days is pretty conducive for a upward action. The reason for it is because it never had a close below the 10 or below the 20. So we're still expecting a continuation higher. The next level that you guys see here, the 416, is that really frothy area that if broken to the upside, will ensure more continuation into the 420 and even into the 430 area. So as you can see, we're already into this trade. We love it. And pretty much within the same pattern and aspect, we had the Qs, right? The Qs were bullish above. Here it is, the bullish above 302.22. You guys can see it here. We had a triple bottom that we noted. And by the way, the bottom formation was in December. So come January, again, we were buying with both hands. This was the time to get long. And if you guys look through the performance, this is the close performance from January. You could see here that within January, all our trades were long. We added to some trades here. And you could see that we only had 2 stops. We had 1 stop over here and 1 stop over here. Okay, that's pretty much it. This is all the stops that we had. We totaled 55.43%. Okay, and that's pretty amazing, right? That's really pretty amazing. So having 2 stops out of a plethora of trades that literally delivered a lot, right? You can look at the percentages, 8% gain in PayPal, 3% gain right here in PayPal, 5.62%. You can see here 4.68%, 13% in FedEx. This is amazing. And look at the realized profits, just insane. So January for us was extremely profitable, and we're still into a lot of trades going into the first and second week of February, going into the middle of February. So what's next for the SPYs now? Well, if the SPYs are going to break the 311 area, we're going to head on higher. And just like the SPYs, you can see that the price action is trading just above the 10 EMA. So it's assuring that continuation pattern. Definitely you can see the change in the trend, right? Because we have the falling tops, right? You guys can see it. I'm going to squish it right here. So we have the high, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. And all of a sudden we have this bottoming effect. We have a triple bottom plus 2 higher lows that we have noted in here, these higher lows, and there you go, boom. So we were along this whole entire area. We had a blast in December, and we had a blast in January as well. Really great price action for us. So this is what's next for the SPYs. Let me just take you to IWM, which is Russell. And I'm going to take Russell to a little bit of higher time frame so you can understand the areas. Now we had here multiple confluence levels. First of all, we had this purple line you guys see here was tested by these 2 prior highs from 2018 and from 2019. And yes, they carry a lot of significance because this is the area where the price action found the bottom. We have the multi-month support, press the pivot low support, because the price action proved that it rotated and it developed a pivot with confirmation into the prior resistance area. So what this shows us is that the monthly chart is still very much into a massive uptrend. We were not downtrending into the Russell, as you guys can see. We're still having higher highs and higher lows. We could go as back at 2002, and you can see the continuation higher, and you could see the test Now we're into a little bit of difficulty here because we have a declining 20 SMA, but we're also trading above the 10 EMA. So here we're expecting a hook. This is going to be resolved. My guess would be from technicals that will be resolved in about 2 weeks. So it needs 2 weeks to take out this 20 SMA. It could do it next week, or it could do it in a couple of weeks. Now, from the weekly standpoint, things are looking great, because if this week, now remember that tomorrow is option expiration, so tomorrow is going to be like a whole different ball game, because you're going to have, you know, these the market is going to literally get pinned into at or around whole numbers, into the fulcrum numbers, and it's going to be most likely sideways. And I actually, spoke with my traders earlier this week, and I was telling them, look, as without any other option expiration, you're going to expect a big move up, a big move down, and then the price action will meander, will remain sideways. But here's the catch. If the price action, let's say today or tomorrow, is going to take out the 196.38 level, it's going to start moving higher, and the next target is going to be 202, and from that point it's going to be 208, and then it's going to enter a much wider tradable void, but this is going to be a lot more difficult. It's going to need a lot of TLC into this area. And let's check out the diamonds. The diamonds here, again, very evident. You can see that I'm doing a lot of work on my charts, because I need to calculate the areas. So we do have a breakout point into the 343.5. If it's going to happen this week, that's great. If it's going to happen next week, that's even fantastic, because I would love it to happen after option expiration. So if that does, that's going to create follow through to around the 350 area. The reason why you should be looking at the Dow and looking at the indices is because they are component rich. So that means that the diamonds have 30 stocks into their component, right? So stocks like Boeing, right? What a great shot with Boeing, beautiful base breakout. We also have UNH, we have 3M, we have Caterpillar very strong. Remember earlier this week, there were some analysts that downgraded Caterpillar, and what that did is create actually a really phenomenal pullback for another buy opportunity for traders, right? For institutional traders, for traders in general, retail traders. So this is the wrap up of the ETF market. Now I'm going to dive very quickly into the futures market, and here we go. This is the mini S&P. Definitely, we do have a lot of information here on the charts. As you can see, not much different than the SPY chart. We already have the same turnaround into the 200 simple moving average. We had a predictive rotation area that came from this really wide band of support, the 34.50, all the way into the 33.10. Now, you can see that road here that the weekly created a higher low, right? And this is the first step into the change of the trend on the weekly. So I noted this, and I made this notation last year on October 31st. You see where my cursor is? That is when it happened, right? So we had a really good head start. The bottoming effect has happened last year in October. That was the buy point, right? So if you're just looking at stocks right now and say, oh my gosh, I want to go long, the buy point was like last year in October for a really good run, you know, to nail this rotational bottom, right? So the price action rotated in here. Now, what's in store for the mini S&P? Just a lot of garbage inside action for this week. Nothing definite. We had a doji from last week so far. Like I said, this is from last week. This is this week's trading activity. It's pretty muted, and that is because we have option expiration, and that is going to pin prices perhaps at or around the whole numbers. There is a very strong incidence that they're either going to get pinned at 4,100 or 4,150. Right now, they're trading at 4,127. And like I said, from the daily standpoint, you know, this is what we are expecting. Like we have nailed it. And by the way, these notations are made not now. These notations are made as the price action is pushing forward, as you guys can see here. So we have the low, we have the higher low, we have the higher low over here, and then we continue with the higher low sequence. And now we have another support level that is into the just below the 4,100. It's actually here. Right below this pivot low. Okay, so now we have this this other pivot here into the area of 40.50. Where's the context right now? So it has been trading sideways within the last 4 days. So the igniting day was on Monday on the 13th. And then right now we're sideways. No surprise, option expiration. This is what it does to price. Bottom line is that you can see these lines, that the trends that we're establishing. So I told my traders that once we get into, and by the way, these you can see on my Twitter page, twitter.com/trade out loud, because I talked about these days and weeks ahead. So you can find these charts over there as they were developing. So we didn't have any candles back then. So as you guys can see, we ran up and we were expecting a pullback. The pullback is created here. We're expecting some more volatility to kick in going into tomorrow. But definitely once this is all resolved, the trend can resume higher if the price actions get over 41.70, 41.75. It will start moving higher and it'll go to 4,200. This is going to be the tough part. And if it gets over the 4,200, which has massive resistance. And in fact, you can see this top right here matching a similar top from August 25th, 2022. You guys can see it. Here's the top, right? I'm holding my cursor a little bit below it. So here's the top, right? So here we have it. You see the tops over here. This was expected. This was an expected pullback. Nothing is unexpected in the market if you're looking at technicals, right? Technicals provide you, and of course, prior price action provides you that crystal ball where you're going to see prior resistance or support areas that are likely to be revisited in the near future. So like I said, if we break above the 4,200, we open the door towards a wider tradable void towards 4,300. And that's going to be fantastic, because if you're a day trader, you're going to be looking for pullback, buy. You're not going to, the shorting is not going to be an option. I mean, with this trend, shorting is not an option. And then you're going to look for a much wider tradable void, which is going to be phenomenal. And then we have NASDAQ. NASDAQ, here we go. All right, so with NASDAQ, we had another buy point over here. You can see this line. This was the buy point rotation. You can see the triple bottom action. You can see the higher highs and the higher low pivots, right, that are trending. And by the way, we're trading off of the 10 EMA. Therefore, we are in an ultra bullish trend, right? And then again, we're forming a top here into the 800. We take out this top into 800. We start navigating higher. But why do you think we stopped here? Why do you think we stopped? Why do you guys think we're stalling here? Well, let's look to the left-hand side. You see a prior pivot high. This is not rocket science. Prior pivot high created resistance. We had a massive run. Price got extended from the 10 EMA. Price pulled back. Easy peasy, right? And then if we get a break over 800, we're going to 13,000. We break 13,000, we're going to 13,200, 13,500, and we're going back into the 13,800 or even more, okay? All right, so now I'm going to answer some questions. All right, let's see. All right, let's start first with Tesla. All right, let's start with Tesla, see what we have going on. I'm going to go far out to the monthly chart. Okay, now look at this gorgeous rotation that happened here on the monthly chart. Beautiful, right? We have the 200 simple moving average. I'm sorry, the 50 simple moving average. Price pulled back 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm sorry. And then it rotated higher. Okay, beautiful. Now, from the weekly standpoint, price was trading below the 200 SMA, okay? And it was kind of choppy. We had a high here from 2011. We had a high here from 2021. We have a lower high. So this is when things changed last year, right? They changed they changed as soon as January. We got that shift in momentum towards the bearish. We had a lot of narrative that was pointing out towards, and the R word, the recession word, was all over the place. And that influenced price action, right? And you can see the falling tops over here. Now, we have a huge area. I don't know if you guys can see it, but this is a massive resistance point for now. This is a massive support level here. This support level is resistance. And in fact, you could see how it how it corrected the price here, because the price action popped up a little bit and then got rejected by this massive resistance from 2021, and the price went back down. The velocity took the price down. The 200 SMA here was literally the one that projected higher. However, this was a short squeeze opportunity. We actually did this trade. Okay, so we had the 1, 2, 3 down, right? And this was a short squeeze going into the 130 level, 130 to 135. And then we had continuation higher through this resistance, and now we're elevating higher. Now, this is a weekly chart. We're weekly up at this point. We're weekly up, but at the same time, you guys can see that we have another band of support, right? We have this area, we have this support right here that is creating resistance. Now, on the other side, we have another pattern that is forming here, and that is I would call this a doji and erase up. All right, so this is the squish and swoosh up, right? Because it was trading within the parameters, and actually this week we kind of made a new high. Nobody was expecting it. Room to go higher. It does have room to about 235. So if you're in, you still have room. You're still intact. You're still good. Now, if you're in, you want to chunk out some of the profits, and you have to be very careful, because on the daily chart, you have a declining 200 SMA that is going to put some problems for price. Needless to say that this 200 SMA is also coinciding with the prior resistance zone from November 2022. So it's going to be a huge inflection point. So if the price action is going to get into this point, it's going to think about it once, twice, right? Meaning 1 day, 2 day, 5 days, right? Before it decides whether to pull back or to push forward. We had a very shallow 1, 2, 3 pullback right into the 10 EMA with a rotational pattern that happened on the 14th. Okay, so nice gift for Valentine's Day. Nice, gorgeous green Tesla over here. And then we have this breakout point. It's kind of like, to me, it looks like it wants to go higher, but it has a lot of resistance between 20 and 27, 20 and 27. That's about it. This is going to be the next decision for it. Okay, so it's on the go. If you're not in the trade, do not get in. This is not a buy point for Tesla. Okay. All right, let me see something else. AI, all right. All right, here's AI. All right, so this is the daily chart. The daily chart did a rotation. Look at this. I mean, this is quite an impressive, I would call this like an inside bar, and the explosive move came once the price traded over 23.50. If you're not in, this is not a buy point. So just let it go. There's a buy point that is ready, possible to happen if the price trades over 31.11 this week. All right, if it trades over this week. Next week, I would still look for the 30.80 to 31. So I would lower it a little bit. So I would be looking for that into the $30 or so. At this point, it has a high of 26.77 for the week. Just watch it. You may be able to buy it if you're interested, Leah. You may be, you may want to get it over next week over this week's high. That would be like a more aggressive approach to it. Okay. All right. ALB. Okay. Oh, this is a good one. Okay, Pat, this is a really good one. This is a weekly chart. It just triggered. It just fired for higher. 289. I like it. This is a buy area. Your stop should be way below this 257. It has room to complete into the 325 to 330, and it has a really good weekly. Plus the monthly, a lot of consolidation. I love it. Plus, when you look at it, it didn't have any kind of pullback in 2022. It just created more consolidation above this 20 SMA. Really good for a long. I really like it. Like it, stay in it. Okay, next one, NVIDIA. All right, let's check out NVIDIA here. NVIDIA looks very good for a continuation higher. It's not a buy right now. It may be a buy. See, this is where I got in the 220.48. This is my buy. You may look as at an alternate, and let's say an alternate entry over these highs as a breakout. That's the only strategy that you can apply now. It's really nice respecting the trend line. You can see the nice traction that it has off of the moving averages. The weekly chart, again, the weekly chart is a little bit into resistance from the prior highs and these lows over here, but it definitely has, you know, room for higher, 250-ish to 275 for the target. Medium to long term in NVIDIA. So NVIDIA is still a very, very strong name. All right. Let's see, what else do we have here? ZS, is that futures? Silver, ZS, is it futures? Or is it this one right here? Zscaler, or is it futures? Yes. Is it stock or futures? Soybean. Okay. Okay. If you guys want some other commodities, make sure that you type in whether it's a stock or commodity, so I know what to type in. All right. I do like soybeans from the longer time frame point of view, and it looks definitely higher. It looks like it wants to go 1600. It's a little bit choppier, but it has definitely consolidation into the prior resistance. It looks good. So from the daily standpoint, you could see here that the chop fest is around the 200 SMA. So definitely needs to hold, no, it needs to close this week above the 200 SMA. If it's not going to do it, it's not ready yet. And let me remind you that it has been here since December. So it's just shopping around, right? The price action took its sweet time, right? To go a little bit higher. It grinded its way higher. I mean, I think that there are gazillion other names that you can trade other than soybeans. This is just junky right now. You need to see the close definitely above. You can see here that we only had literally, yeah, very timid closes above the 200 SMA. No, it's not ready yet at this point. Plus the weekly has the 50 SMA. You definitely need a close above it. So what's this week's high? 1555. Yeah, it definitely needs to trade much, much higher, at least into the 69 to 70, and close into that area to get clipped and to get pushed higher. Other than that, it's junky. All right, UNH. All right, let's check out UNH. UNH, I like it. I like it. I analyze these stocks every single day, whether I'm trading them or not. I'm analyzing them because I day trade futures, and I need to analyze my Dowski stocks to see if I'm going to get pressure in NASDAQ or not. But we have nice bottoming formation in February, beginning of February. Remember, this was let's say a swish to the downside, and the price action came back into the top of the range. We do have some massive resistance here into the 500 on the daily, so it's gonna take a little bit more time until it resolves it. This week's action speaks volume because it triggered above the green. You need to see this week a clip of this 10 EMA and a close as close as possible to the 10 EMA. And if we have that, we can have a continuation to about 510 to 513. It looks good. It's definitely very strong. It's a monster trade. I would look at it, and we don't have much into the end of the month. We actually have a week and a half into the end of the month, and watch this candle like a hawk, because if you're not in, or this is going to be your decision. You have to either add to it if you're already in, but it looks very good. Off the 20 SMA, still trending, still power trend. And I love the fact that we have a 1, 2, 3 down. Remember, the best pullbacks are 3 to 5 candles. You can't get a significant move that is going to provide you with a good foundation unless you have that really good pullback. And yeah, all right. Cool. I already did silver. I already covered the futures indices. And what commodities do you want? Do you want gold, garbage, oil, garbage? they're all junky. There's nothing to see there. All right, let's do the oil. All right. Okay, so this is the oil. All right, the oil has been, and I have been, yeah, that's junky too. It's just like soybeans. I'm gonna do it for you, but just, yeah, just find something else. Like you have over 6,000 stocks that are making really big moves. Commodities are junk, seriously. And you have indices that provided really great trading opportunities. Commodities are right now like not doing so well. Here's oil for you guys. So we had the pullback. This has been, crude has been into this 200 simple moving average for a really long time. November, December, January, this is February, inside bar formations. We're getting condensed base into this is a decision. If the price action at any point is going to take out these highs going into next month, going into the month of March, we are going to start moving higher. Okay, we're going to start moving higher. And from the weekly standpoint, I mean, let's take a quick look, right? We take out the 20 SMA, we go higher. Okay, we take out the 20 SMA, we go higher. Okay, from the daily standpoint, still a lot of nonsense. We still have this triple bottom, and now the question is, oops, I can't take this from here for some reason. Okay, the next question is this going to be the new floor of support into the 77? And you need to see a break of you need to see a break of 80. Okay, so that looks really good. Okay, that looks really good into the 80. All right, let's check corn. All right, here's corn. Where is it trading? Silver, you tell me. Where is it trading? Below the 200 SMA. My bias, sit on your hands. It's garbage, right? You need to see a close above the 200 SMA in order to start getting some traction. Other than that, it's going to be garbage. All right. Into the weekly, what are we doing? Still trading a little bit above the 20. What's this overhead right here? We have the 50 SMA. Oh, okay. So the price is trading in between moving averages. So what do you think it's going to do? Yo-yoing around, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Okay, so it's not ready for anything. Over 700, we're going to talk more about it. But as long as it's trading into this mess, don't worry about it. The monthly chart, if you're an investor into it, then we are going to, if we see 690, we're going to go higher. Other than that, you're going to get caught in this spinning cycle. It's a spinning cycle in all commodities. Here's one thing that I'm watching, guys, and I already, I'm not only that I'm watching it, but I already have an order in. Okay. I'm not triggered yet because my order is $9. This is going to be a short squeeze, and this is going to be in UNG. This is natural gas. So silver, if you're watching something, watch natural gas because it has a really good potential. If it will trigger, it will have a massive short squeeze, and the risk to reward ratio is going to be fantastic. The risk to reward ratio on soybeans, on corn, on wheat is just not there. Okay, it's not there. It doesn't have any kind of interest. So at this point, if the price action in UNG or natural gas is going to trade over, so I'm going to show you natural gas futures in a second. I know some of you guys are trading futures. So if it trades over $9, it's definitely going to have like this really big short squeeze, at least into the $11 to $12. And pretty much the same thing I could say for natural gas. So natural gas, you can see that I already have alerts over here. So the more we trade over 263 to 264, this can mean a break to the upside. Now, does this mean that you're going to buy it now just because it's sitting at the bottom and you're going to have a lower risk? Absolutely not. Okay, absolutely not. All right, let's see, NRG. All right, NRG. All right, let's start with the highest time frame because this is kind of like, yeah, it's pure chop. So yeah, it's into support. It's trading above the 200. It's not significant. It has a plethora of resistance in the above. The weekly chart, ugh, this is ugly. This is one ugly chart. Doesn't have any kind of trigger for the long side or the bear side. Doesn't have any kind of signal. And that's why you're seeing these volatility candles over here. So you see that it makes a new high and boom, today back lower. So yeah, just stay away from it, Gallo. No use wasting your money on it. Halliburton and DVN. All right, so here, let's start with the weekly. Okay, now as you can see, the price action has already achieved this year resistance, right? So it formed this double top. Now the construction and the context is very bullish for Halliburton, because we do have higher lows that are dominant, and we're getting here. And by the way, common denominator was pretty much the 50 SMA all around. The decisions were made into the 50 SMA. Now the price action is trying to catch on to the 20. The 20 is a power trend, not an ultra, but it's a power trend. So if the price action is going to hold, this could be a buy point, and the buy point is going to be over this week's high. So somewhere above $40. Okay, so let's say $39.90 or $40 exact prices to enter, contingent on we don't break these levels tomorrow, because tomorrow's option expiration. I don't know, maybe they want to pin it at $40, but in either case, whatever the high is this week, you buy it over this high going into next week. Beautiful, Halliburton. And DVN. All right, you can see that I did a lot of analysis. These are stocks that I'm watching as well. So we had double top formation, and we're having sort of like rising bottoms over here. The one thing that I'm concerned about in DVN is that it's trading below. This is the weekly, by the way, chart. This trading below the 10 EMA. I'm sorry, the 10 EMA and the 50 SMA. This is not very good, because right now it has the bearish dominance in it. So that's why. Wait for it to resolve. Let's check it out. Let's see the monthly. The monthly may want to revisit these bottoms right here into the 52, perhaps even to the 50. And the next decision point will be at around the 50 area. All right, Leah, some U.S. institutions have target price for gold between 3. We really don't know where the institutions have target prices, because there's one thing to have a target price and one thing to actually be in the trade. Okay, so don't go by what institutions or water cooler discussions around Bloomberg or CNBC or anything like that. Just go by the facts. Okay, so let's look at GLD and let's see what we have. Junk. Okay, this is the monthly chart. So we're going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. We have no evidence that the price action or institutions are even interested in literally buying gold or holding gold at this point. Why? Well, you can see here the big sideways action. There are some institutions that may be legged in and they're holding gold, but there is no prediction as how long they're going to be holding gold. Remember, if they start coming on TV saying, oh my gosh, this is, this is a target for, they're getting out. They say there's a possible target price of 3,000, they're going to get out at 1,000 or 2,000. Okay, so yeah, so make sure you don't go by that. Don't go by that. Learn technical analysis, learn to look at charts. This is a monthly chart, it's pure garbage. When you're looking, for example, on the weekly, you got the 1, 2, 3 down. The next area of support can be somewhere into the 168 zone. If it gets back into the 168, if you have some price evidence for a technical rotation, yeah. But at this point, like I told Silver, there are other 6 to 7, 8,000 stocks that you can look at and trade without having any kind of problem right now. Look for something that is really evident. Snow, this is a good one. All right, here's Snow. All right, so this is Snow on the weekly. Beautiful pattern. By the way, double bottom formation looks really good. Here's what I like about it. This is what you want to look for. You want to look for a pattern that is really evident. If you're looking at a pattern and you're seeing, you're looking and it's literally it looks like an EKG. Okay, just turn the page to another stock. All right, so here we have the rotation that happened, right, in Snow. This week, very strong, very, very strong. If you're not in the trade, if you're in the trade, stay in, because it does have room to go into the 200. It can squeeze If it takes out the 200, but go baby steps, don't be complacent because the market can change in a flip of a coin, and then take profits, take partial profits into targets. What I'm seeing right now is that it's developing a lot of strength this week. Again, finalize. Let's wait until everything is finalized tomorrow with option expiration. And if it trades over 176 going into next week, the next target will be into the 185 to 200. So Snow, I really like it. All right. Okay. So these were the questions. Let me tell you what we do here at Trade Out Loud. Okay. So here we go. All right. So like I said, we do run a trading room. So if you guys are interested in trading with me, trading futures, I'm going to show you the track performance. Please do so. The trading room is every day from 9 o'clock till about 11:30. We trade only high caliber trades. I love my money so much that I'm not getting in junky, just garbage setups. When I come into the market, I look for the best possible setup to get into the trade that enables the maximum follow through for the trade. I like to raise my stop when I'm in trade so I can book profit sooner, not complacent when it comes to trailing. So if you guys want to boost your profits, you could trade with us with confidence. This is a complete hand-holding system. I created this trading room in 2017. We started teaching the Power Income course in 2015, and my traders were begging me to have a trading room to give them trades, winning trades. So I literally, created this trading room. The reality is that I didn't want to. And the reason for that is because I don't want to have a job. I don't need to have a job. And when you're a trader, you don't want to have a job. Okay. But now I'm like confined of trading from 9 o'clock to 11:30. And that's pretty much it. And that I consider that like literally a lot for me. But anyways, I do the pre-market game plan. I do trace institutional levels, and I tell you where these institutional levels are so you can take advantage of them. Real-time precise trading. So I tell you exactly where to get in, the exact price with the tick, where to place your stop, and I trail it for you. So I deliver everything for you. All you have to do is have an open mind, know how to position size, boom, you're done. Take the trades. So if you want to find out more information about this, you could go to our website. I'm going to show you where we are in a second. We also have a stock swing trading program, which I have created in 2010. So we have been running strong 13 years in the stock swing trading program. This is what I love because I usually manage and look at stocks and set alerts about 10 minutes a day. That's my work day for my stocks and for investing portfolio. If you want to get a hold of what we do, you could actually go to our website and you could go under services. This is where you're going to find the futures trading room with the prices. We have 1-day passes if you want to say, hey, you know what? I don't want to commit for a whole month or a whole year. I just want to see, how you're trading. Okay. And you can test it out this way. We have a 1-day pass. We have a 1-week pass. We have a monthly membership and the yearly membership. And the yearly obviously is the best option because it's going to provide you two free months. We have the stock swing trader over here, and we also provide you guys with funded accounts and say, hey, if you don't want to risk your own money and say, hey, you know what? I don't want to risk my money. I just want to trade somebody else's money. We fund you. Okay. So we have 4 types of accounts that are available. We have the $50,000 account, the $100,000 account, the $200,000 account, and the $500,000 account. And if you want to find out more information about or the whole program in general, we have a page dedicated for that. That's going to tell you everything from A to Z. By the way, in these funded accounts, you're going to be able to trade stocks, futures, Forex, cryptos. Okay, so more details about it. This is our broker, 8Cap. And we have 2 videos over here. We have the introductory video. So if you're interested in saying, hey, I want to opt for a funded account, For a prop account, what do I need to do? You're going to find out all the answers right here. And we also have a platform orientation because we're using the 8 cap as a broker, and this is an explanation of how you could set up your platform. So yeah, we're delivering everything on a silver platter pretty much. In regards to the results, right, you're going to sound like, oh, okay, so I'm going to join a trading room. Do you deliver results? Well, these are the results. These are all the trades that have been posted in the room, have been commented, and have been taken into the room. And these are the results. This is with the entry, the stop, the target, comments, details about how we trailed it and all that stuff. And you could see here, we also have my personal monthly performance. And this is by month. This is January and all the trades that I did. With the entry, the stop, etc. This is for February. I actually did this snapshot because I had a presentation last night, so I wanted to show my traders. This is for February. You can see here all my trades, right? You can see all my trades in here. The returns, and this is the win ratio. This is the profit loss ratio. This is my return for February. This was my return for January. Okay. And we have the stock swing trader. And the stock swing trader, like I said, we have all the trades in here. Let me see. I think we have, I don't know where the performance went. We may have a different tab or thing, I think. I don't know. Anyways. I'm not seeing the performance on this one, but you're going to see all my trades with the size that I took and all that stuff. So these are January, these are February, as you guys can see them. These are the stocks that are active right now. So let me know if you guys have any other questions. I think my time is up. So I just want to thank you for all your questions. All right. And this is pretty much it. David?